You're watching Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Around Town is sponsored by Chemung Canal Trust Company. They're really nice people. Trust is their middle name. Service is their motto. And I like them a lot, and that's why I bank there. If you ever come by to look me up, I'll be in the vault. Safe place. What makes a hospital great? We're lucky because in our area we have a very unusual and a very special hospital, the Guthrie Hospital. And this is the fellow who's the head of the Guthrie. You're president, right?
President.
And how do you, you're an Italian name, Scopelliti?
Scopelliti, Joseph.
And where did, you know there's a fellow who's in charge of highways in Bath named Scopelliti. Did you know that?
No,
He's
I
a
did not.
great guy. We just did an interview with him.
Very good.
Almost as talented as you, in a
Ah,
different field.
Maybe better.
We're going to have a lot of fun with him. One of the things that struck me about Guthrie, first of all, this complex is beyond belief in the size. Then you have the Corning Hospital and all these other interesting areas as satellites. But in a hospital like this, aside from the amount of detail that must be necessary, how do you make people feel that they know you, this giant, this tie-in with the other hospitals, Mayo Clinic? What is that all about? And who was Robert Packer and who was Guthrie? And you know all the answers to these, so I don't have to do any more talking. You can just tell everybody.
So the history of the organization is fascinating. The Lehigh Valley Railroad was founded back in the mid-1800s, different name. And the Packer family, which founded Lehigh University, sent one of their sons, Robert, to run the division up here in Sayre. They had a large repair yard for locomotives here, and in the 1870s, there were about 8,000 employees in the rail yard here in Sayre. Mr. Packer, when he passed away, left his house to the community as a hospital. And then in 1910, Dr. Guthrie went to the Mayo Clinic to do a residency. Pretty normal today for everybody to do a residency, but back then that was unusual. Spent 3.5 years there, and when he came back east, he looked to establish a system similar to what he saw at the Mayo Clinic, where there were physicians and the hospital and other support services all working together. And so 107 years later, we're kind of the same as we were back then. Very unusual back then, but now much more the norm that physicians work in collaboration or are actually employed within hospital systems. And so today we have about 300 physicians in the Guthrie Medical Group and the 4 hospitals, and about 5,500 total employees.
And how do you consult with Mayo? Is that free?
No, there's a membership fee to be part of the Mayo Care Network, Mayo Clinic Care Network. But for that subscription, we get a lot of services that benefit our patients.
So the hospital pays for that, not the individual patient.
That is correct. The system pays for it. There's no charge. There's no fees whatsoever to the patient. So if you come to see one of our physicians and you have a complex medical problem, or even if you don't have a complex medical problem but want another opinion, we can electronically send your entire record, fully comprehensive, to an expert, a world-class expert at the Mayo Clinic, and they will review your case, and in 24 to 72 hours, they will turn that back around to us with their opinion for you. It is free of charge to the patient, and there's an availability to even ask ongoing questions.
And you arranged all this?
We did.
No, you did. You arranged all this.
The organization did.
Aren't you nice?
Well.
But you have an organization. We've been interviewing different doctors for the program in specialty fields, including gastrotechnology. Is it gastrotechnology?
Gastroenterology.
Thank you very much.
GI.
I'm getting there. And the dedication, not only of the doctors, but of the staff, even the House of Hope, where you house people who don't necessarily have the money during the hard times to be helpful. They are just so caring. How do you do this? How do you instill this in them? Because, I mean, General Motors would like to know how to do this.
Yeah, it's a wonderful history here. You know, how I got here was I was a medical student back in 1976 in Philadelphia, and I came here to do a rotation for 6 weeks, and I found that same experience. The people were so nice. They were so friendly and helpful, and I just decided that I didn't want to spend the rest of my career in the city and struggling with the challenges of health systems in large cities, and came here. And 37 or 8 years later, I found
you were a kid.
I was a kid. That those values, helpfulness, and compassion, honesty, they still exist, and we're very fortunate to have a great workforce that really does that well.
And you also have, because I've been going through the rooms of the hospital and doing interviews, you've got equipment here that's beyond belief. You must have sunk a fortune into all of this equipment that's state of the art now with the Corning Hospital and what you have here.
Yes.
Boy, it's worth getting sick to come here.
No, you should do your best to stay healthy, but we'll appreciate being able to help you if you need it. Healthcare facilities are really technology-driven these days. There is a huge amount of technology in hospital systems and even in doctors' offices, the electronic medical record that we have. Literally tens of thousands of patients every month interact with their physicians in Guthrie through their electronic medical record, e-Guthrie. And you can ask for medical advice, you can get prescriptions, you can make your own appointments now. We started back in January. If you want to schedule your appointment with your primary care physician, you can do it yourself online. So a lot of technology.
Wow. And what is the number that people could call or the website they could use to get information? Guthrie.org,
www.guthrie.org will get you, that homepage gets you all that you need to find, or 570-888-6666.
What a nice guy you are. But
well, it's a pleasure that you should come and ask us some questions.
Well, this is a nice place, but I have a loaded question for you. Because all my life, I have secretly wanted to have a mustache and a beard. And I tried it once some years ago, and it came out red, and my wife hated it. And she made me shave it off. And I had to go through all this stuff. And I have a question for you. How, you got a nice mustache and a beard, and I'm jealous, how do you keep them clean? What happens when you eat eggs and things?
Yeah, I keep it very trim. So I have a mustache story for you. So I grew the mustache when I was a medical student because I was very young and young looking. And so I've been without the mustache for exactly 4 days since 1976. And that was on vacation when my kids asked me to shave it off. And my daughter, who was about 7 at the time, saw me, screamed, "Put it back on, please."
Well, you are terrific.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time.
It's a joy to be here. Visit, even if you're not sick, you should come for consultations so you don't become sick. With all these interviews, that's the best thing to do. Be sure that you're put together so that you can cope with any sickness.
Stay healthy. That's the best choice.
He's teaching me. I'll be here. Guthrie, Guthrie, Guthrie. Nice place. Worth it. See you soon.
Thank you.
Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
Life. It never stops moving. Getting from here to there. Managing long hours at work. Juggling a busy home. You need a bank that keeps up. That's Chemung Canal Trust Company. Bank online. Bank with our mobile app. Deposit a check with your smartphone. Open an account at Chemung Canal and bank with us anywhere, anytime. Chemung Canal Trust Company. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic.
So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit SaveTheFood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
WENY is dedicated to news in our community with an award-winning team focused on stories that impact the Twin Tiers. Awarded by the New York Associated Press for Best News Series, Best Investigative Reporting, Best Enterprise Reporting, Best Spot News, Best Public Service, Best Documentary, Best Sports Coverage, Best Use of Photography, Best Weathercast, Best Feature, and Grand Prize, Outstanding News Operation for award-winning and complete news coverage that matters to you. Turn to WENY News. Like WENY News on Facebook for all your news, weather, and sports updates.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Where else would you find me sitting in a barber shop covered by a cloth American flag that they use to take all the hair that's going to be cut off and put it on the floor, right?
Right.
And this is the lady that owns what I'm told, and I believe it because I'm here, is the most beautiful barbershop for how many miles around?
300 miles.
300 miles around. No, let me take this off here. Can we? I don't want to touch the American flag to the floor.
Neither.
Good. Grand. Now, we are at, what is the address?
208 West Water Street.
In Elmira.
Elmira, New York.
And the name of the barbershop?
First Ward Barbers.
First Ward Barber, and your name?
Margaret Charlanow.
And you own it?
Yes.
I need to know two things. First Ward Barbershop, a ward is in Chicago, a political area.
And years ago, it was considered a ward in the city, and it was called the First Ward. That's why I named it First Ward Barbers. I've been here 32 years.
And how in the world did you get to buy a barbershop?
Because I never wanted to do women's hair.
That's a good reason. And you're the sole barber?
Yes.
And
I've had other people work for me, but not at this point.
So when people come in, do they make an appointment?
No, it's all walk-in only.
It's all walk-in only. You must have a lot of fun.
I do.
Do you know?
I love my job.
You know something? You have very lovely eyes.
Thank you.
I'm not romancing, I'm just being polite. You have very beautiful eyes.
Thank you.
Do most people come in and at certain times when it's too crowded so they have to wait?
Yes, a lot of times that
What
happens.
time should they avoid coming in, or what time should they come in?
It depends. You never know. This is a business that you just never know who's going to walk in your door.
You must take very good care of everything here. You have all kinds of memorabilia, and all of these seats, I assume, are from theaters that you've bought them from, and these are used also. They're really wonderful.
These came from the Elmira Theater.
Ah, and the Clemens Center too?
Which is now the Clemens Center.
How did you do all this?
I don't know. I just did it.
Are you going to stay in this, or are you going to retire?
I don't plan on retiring too soon.
You're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I take care of myself.
What do you do?
I work in my garden.
Ah.
I like to garden, and I have 5 grandchildren, so
oh
I
my
keep
goodness!
busy.
I have 2. That's wonderful.
It's great.
Did you have some inspiration, or were you just rich when you bought this place?
I wasn't rich.
Well, it takes a lot of money to buy a barber shop.
Well, no, it was an empty building, and I bought it 32 years ago.
The building?
Yes.
Wow.
And
you are rich, you see.
Well, I am, with not money, but with my life. I have a good life. I bought this and designed it in a day, and had the people come in and do what I wanted them to do, and I've been here, like I said, 32 years.
And you knew all of the things that you wanted to place where they are?
No. I just started collecting stuff. People started bringing me stuff, and I just put it up, and then I dust it twice a year.
Twice a year. What kind of things do you collect? I see a lot of soda pop cans
Soda
and bottles.
pop, and there's plenty of beer bottles. My husband used to travel a lot, so he would pick up different beer bottles. And just, I don't know, baseball cards, football.
And you have to, I guess every day you have to sweep the floor to get rid of the hair.
Oh, yes, yes. Every time you do a haircut, you have to sweep the hair.
Do you use a vacuum cleaner or a brush?
To clean the person off?
Yeah, not to clean the floor.
I use a broom to clean the floor, but I have a vacuum system to get the hair off of people.
Mm-hmm. You got it all figured out.
Yes, I do.
You do. You know, being in your business, they always say that if you want to find out the gossip, go to the barbershop.
That's correct.
Because all the gossip takes place here.
And who tells me the gossip are men. I don't cut women's hair at all, never have.
And so the men give you all the gossip?
Gossip more than women do.
They do?
Yes, they do.
And you love that?
I love it.
Yeah. What kind of thing? What's the most, I hate to say, the most nefarious gossip you ever heard?
I don't think I could say that on TV.
You get all kinds here.
Yes.
Are they mostly people from the area, or?
I have people from all over different areas that come, that have cut their hair for years and years. You know, I started at like the mall barber shop. I still have some guys that came from, you know, followed me there to another shop in Big Flats, and then I had another shop for 10 years on Walnut Street, and then I came down here.
You're a very, very, very experienced barber.
Yes, I've been doing it for 48 years.
Is there hope for me?
Yes, you've got beautiful hair.
You think it'll keep? I think I'll keep it for a while.
Yes, I think
I'm waiting to get bald, but it's not going.
I don't think it's going to happen to you.
You know, I shouldn't tell you this. This is more gossip than a secret, but I have an eye doctor, and once a year I go for an eye exam. And he was telling me when I went about 2 weeks ago, he said his brother is a very renowned dermatologist doctor, skin doctor and everything else. And he said he did the hair transplant on Donald Trump 15 years ago.
Donald Trump and a hair transplant?
That's what he said.
It's awful.
The hair transplant is awful?
Donald's hairdo is awful.
Is it? You could fix that. He's combing it in front, I think.
That's weird.
You heard it here first.
All I can say is it's different.
Now, what was that sound?
That was my cell phone.
You said that's a wonderful ring.
Well, I guess it's telling me I have a message.
Now, who else do you think has terrible haircuts?
I don't know.
You're just too kind and polite. Yeah. Customers are coming. How about that? It's a postman.
My postman.
Bringing bills.
No, hopefully not.
It's a beautiful day out today. Is it always this nice on this block?
Not always, but it's a beautiful day today.
What happens in your life here that gives you most excitement?
I just like meeting the people that come in my shop. And you get to know them, they kind of become like family members to you. Even though you're not related, but you know all about their children and all about them. Do
you tell stories about them and get stories, gossip from them too?
Yeah, I guess.
You're very discreet.
You have to be. You can never tell who tells you anything.
Mm-hmm. But this is one of the great gossip places in town.
Mm-hmm.
Even better than restaurants, certain restaurants.
Yes.
We're going over to Horrigan's for lunch now.
No, they have great food.
Do you want to come?
No, thank you. I can't leave.
Oh.
I'm here 9 to 5.
I tried. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You have a great day. You're kind of a joy to chat with. That's why it's so nice here. It's very homey here, very cozy.
I like it.
You have everything here but a fireplace.
I don't need a fireplace.
No.
I have a heater over there.
We have you.
It's cold.
Thank you. Give her a call, but stop in. Nice haircuts. I'm getting one now.
Around Town with Henry Dormann. We'll return in a moment.
Strawberries? Okay.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Life, it never stops moving, getting from here to there. Managing long hours at work, juggling a busy home. You need a bank that keeps up. That's Chemung Canal Trust Company. Bank online, bank with our mobile app, deposit a check with your smartphone. Open an account at Chemung Canal and bank with us anywhere, anytime. Chemung Canal Trust Company, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
You want to get framed? There's an interesting place to get framed, and they do a lot of unusual things. And it's run by Rick Kelly, who is the owner of this wonderful frame shop in Hornell. He'll tell you the address, the phone number, all the things. But they have custom framing that looks three-dimensional almost. And I've never seen that before. And you do also sport jersey framing, shadowbox framing, and all kinds of unusual things. Are you the only place that does this? Because I've never seen anybody in the area that does all of these things custom way, in the custom way that you do it.
I'm only the only shop in the immediate Hornell area that does this kind of work.
Well, that takes in Bath and Ithaca and
Yep.
God knows how.
Well, I think as far as away as Ithaca and Corning, you're going to find other frame shops, but just within.
But none as good as you.
None as good as what we can offer folks, that's for sure. Our design capabilities are, we think, are above and beyond.
But tell me about what you showed me before, the box. It looks three-dimensional.
We do a lot of shadow box framing.
That's what it's called, shadow box.
Shadow box framing. Folks bring in objects like sports jerseys, family memorabilia, and we're able to create a custom frame. We're not held to just one size. Everything we do is custom. So we take the artwork that the folks bring us, and we work out from there. And then we build the frame to accommodate what we're framing.
It looks three-dimensional, though.
There's a lot of three-dimensional aspect to it. And
this is, you call glass choices.
These are glass choices. Everything we use, we use a conservation, we think of ourselves as conservation framers, so we use conservation materials from the glass. The mat board is museum quality mat board, and we use acid-free materials from the beginning to end. And museum glass and conservation clear glass.
This is conservation clear, and this is museum glass.
They both afford our clients the protection, UV protection at the same level. It's just that museum glass has been specially formulated to cut down on the amount of light that's reflected. So you can see there's a major difference in the amount of light that reflects off of an object.
Did you hear about Corning coming out with Gorilla Glass?
I have, yes.
That's next? Well, what can that, how can you use that?
I'm not sure how that could be integrated into
It's
framing.
so expensive they can't even use it on automobiles.
Yeah.
But on
And
TV.
of course, museum glass is a little pricier than your typical conservation glass, but some people prefer that super clarity in their framing, and we're here to offer that to them if that's what they want.
It's a great name, Gorilla Glass.
Well, Gorilla Glass is a great name, sure. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What's your favorite that you've ever framed?
I think the favorite things that I frame are when clients come in and they bring a piece of them. They bring a piece of their family. They bring a piece of mom or dad, something that was significant to them. I just framed some needlework from India that this lady brought in that was kind of the only connection that she had left with her mom. Her mom had passed on. And when she picked up the framing the other day, she just stood out there and cried. So I bring happy tears, I hope, to folks. And
you're open when to when?
Officially, I'm open Tuesdays from 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. Through the end of the week on Friday. Saturdays, I'm here from 10 until 3. But Sundays and Mondays, you'll often find me in here too, getting caught up on
You actually
things.
do this yourself?
I do everything here. Yep, we join the frames here. We cut the glass. We cut the mats. We design everything. We have a CAD program with our wizard computerized mat cutter that allows us to do some really cool designs.
You're a wizard.
Our wizard. So hopefully we'll get a...
I'm not into computers, so I hardly know what you're talking about.
Well, Wizard's just the brand name of the computerized mat cutter, and it incorporates a CAD program, and it also incorporates some canned designs that we're able to go to, and to enhance folks, their artwork. And
I have a question for you. Behind you and me, we have all kinds of frames.
We do.
In the ends and across there's a whole wall full of sample frames.
Yep.
How do you get that? Is there a company that supplies you with all of these samples that you order through, or do you have to put them all together yourself?
No, the framing samples are provided to us by a company called Larson Jewell, and I've dealt with Larson Jewell for many years. I initially had a frame shop here in Hornell way back in 1999 and operated here until 2010. And I'm back with the Larson Jewell company. They provide us the frame samples, and when someone walks in the door with, with their precious memory or their artwork, typically I'll have a frame in mind as soon as I see what the artwork is, and then the client will obviously have some suggestions as well, and then I try to prove to them how I'm right. And how we're going to present it in a really great manner for them.
And then you send on all the dimensions and everything to the Jewell company?
Larson Jewell just provides me with molding that I then go ahead and cut and join here.
I see.
To
so
make
you actually do it on the premises?
Yep,
yourself.
And everything is custom made. I don't have anything that's a standard size, and I don't really have any frames laying around. I design everything to fit the needs of the client.
You look like you are having such a nice time.
I do have fun.
Are you always so happy? Because when I knew you in Hammondsport, you were happy too.
Well, Hammondsport was a great experience, but it was nice to come back to Hornell. This is kind of where the roots of the business are for me.
And the address and phone number?
We're at 190 Main Street, and the phone number is area code 607-661-4230.
Anything on the web?
We're on Facebook, and we're working on a website.
I'm looking forward to hearing it and seeing it.
It's got a lot of great examples on the Facebook page that show past work.
Wow.
And,
good.
That's great.
You should keep a lookout for him and try to visit, because the place is not the normal type of frame store. They're very, very unusual and very full of colorful ideas.
I'm definitely full of it.
Yep. Oh. I'm looking at some of the things he has here that are very different and very beautiful. And
thank you.
Expensive, I would think.
There is a cost, obviously, associated with custom framing. Any kind of custom work, no matter what it is.
So it depends on the frame.
It depends mainly on the frame, and I do my best to keep the cost down to the client.
Well, I see you have pictures of very famous people all over. You have President Ford behind us. You have another president around the corner. Calvin Coolidge or Warren Harding, I think.
Warren Harding, yeah.
Were they all customers?
No.
Oh.
Just a local collector, probably.
I figured I'd catch you. I'll be here. I used to do this myself, and I'm very good at it, if he has an opening. Otherwise, I'll be around.
We'll
see you soon. Squeeze me in. Good. Bye-bye.
You're watching WENY,